Hey there, today we're diving into a really important rule change that's going to affect anyone doing trade between Cambodia and the United States. It's a brand new system, and its main goal is to crack down on fraud. So if you're an exporter, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this. So let's get right to it. If you're shipping goods from Cambodia over to the US, you need to circle a date on your calendar. A really key rule is changing and the clock is ticking. The new system officially kicks in on May 12th, 2025. Let's make sure you're ready. Okay, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the crackdown on fraud, why this is all happening in the first place. Then we'll look at Cambodia's specific new rules. After that, we'll walk through the new certification process step by step. We'll also figure out exactly who and what products are affected. And finally, we'll zoom out and talk about why this whole system really matters. All right, first up, the crackdown. To really get why these new regulations are being put in place, we have to understand the problem they're trying to solve. And that problem has a name: origin fraud. The official term for this is illegal transshipment. And honestly, the scheme is pretty straightforward. You've got goods made in one country, but instead of shipping them directly, they get sent through a different country first. There, they get relabeled to make it look like they were made in that second country. Why? It's all about illegally dodging tariffs or taking advantage of trade deals they weren't actually eligible for. And this isn't just a Cambodia-specific issue. Not at all. It's a huge problem all across Asia. Countries like Vietnam and Thailand are also rolling out their own measures to stop this kind of thing. So what Cambodia is doing is really part of a much larger regional push for more transparency in trade. So how is Cambodia officially fighting back? Well, that brings us to the new rules, which have been formalized in what's called an interministerial PRCAS. And here's the proof right from the source. On your screen, you can see the actual announcement from Cambodia's Ministry of Commerce. We've got the original Khmer document on the left and an English translation on the right. The big takeaway here is that this isn't just some casual memo. It's a formal, legally binding regulation. The government has been super clear about its goals. This quote from Article 1 of the document says it all. It aims to, quote, prevent frauds of origin of goods and to promote a transparent enforcement. Really, it boils down to two things: boosting transparency and making sure trade is legit. Okay, that's the why. But what do exporters actually have to do now? Let's get into the practical side of things with the new certification process. This is the real how-to part. The whole thing is broken down into 4 pretty clear steps. First off, you have to register online using the Ministry of Commerce's Certificate of Origin system. Simple enough. Second, you apply for something new called an Origin Certification Letter, or OCL for short. Now, step 3 is the big one, and it's a major change. Your very first application will trigger an automatic on-site inspection of your factory or business. And last, once you get that OCL, you have to attach it to your U.S. Customs Declaration form. And it's really important to know that this isn't just one ministry acting alone. The documents make it crystal clear this is a team effort between the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Economy and Finance, which is the one that handles customs. This makes sure everybody from trade officials to customs agents is on the same page. So, who exactly needs to go through this new process? Let's break it down. We're going to look at these specific goods covered, the penalties for not complying, and, well, a surprising benefit. Now, these new rules don't apply to every single thing being exported. They're targeting a very specific list of goods, which is laid out in what's called Annex I of the PRCAS. As you can see from the document here, it's a formal list, and each item has what's called an HS code. That's just the universal code system used in trade to classify products. And wow, this list is long. We're talking over 100 different items, and it's incredibly diverse. I mean, it ranges from stuff like natural honey and wooden furniture to building materials like plastic doors, all the way to high-tech goods like solar-powered generators and LED lights. So the scope is definitely wide. Now, what if somebody tries to cheat the system? Well, Article 6 of the PRCAS is very blunt about it. Anyone caught committing origin fraud will face sanctions under Cambodia's existing laws on customs and rules of origin. Basically, the penalties are already on the books, and they are serious. But here is some seriously good news for businesses that play by the rules. You're probably wondering, okay, how much is this new certificate going to cost me? Well, how about $0? That's right. The government has explicitly stated that exporters are, quote, not required to pay a public service fee for this new letter. Okay, let's step back for a second and look at the big picture. Why does this whole new system really matter in the grand scheme of things? This chart, which comes straight from the government's own presentation, boils it all down perfectly. There are 3 main goals here. Goal number 1, obviously, is to prevent fraud, stop that illegal transshipment. Goal number 2 is actually to help legitimate trade by making everything more transparent. And goal number 3, minimize the hassle for businesses, which that zero-fee policy clearly shows. At the end of the day, this whole thing is about building trust. These rules are designed to boost Cambodia's international reputation, to show the world it's a reliable and transparent place to do business. It's about making sure everyone is complying with Cambodian law and, just as importantly, with U.S. import rules. And that really leaves us with the big question to think about as this all rolls out. By putting these tough, transparent rules in place, will Cambodia successfully cement its reputation as a dependable global trading partner? That's the goal, and you can bet the rest of the world will be watching closely to see how it plays out. Thanks for tuning in.